Okay, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to the elect. This is the word of the day. The word I want to go into is the word infatuate. All right, or infatuated, which in the common term with people would use, this would be like a new speech. It would be infatuate would be here, and the word infatuate means to be inspired with an intense but short-lived passion or admiration for, and that will be basically the new speech, just someone is passionate or has admiration for, which that's not off. However, it goes deeper than that when you go into the etymology. That's why it's important, and that's why we push, going deeper into words, researching words, going to the etymology, the root of the word, where it stems from, the truth of the word. All right. Start off, I'm sorry. Let me go here. So that's what we'll do. We go to infatuate. Now this is what it says on the etymonline.com, on the online etymology dictionary. It says to turn to foolishness, frustrate by making foolish. Okay, from Latin infatuous, past particle, infatuare, make a fool of. All right. It says fatuous. Infatuous means foolish. Okay, fatuous, specific sense of inspire, right? It says in someone, that's what inspire means. A foolish passion beyond control of reason. Is from 1620s related, infatuated, infatuating. An infatuated person is possessed by a misleading idea or passion that his thoughts and conduct are controlled by it and turned into folly. And when I read, because this word was going off in my mind, and it was like, damn, I was saying to myself after I made a video, because that's how we are for this truth, man. We're infatuated with this truth. Apostle Gabar, he said yesterday, and no, I watched it yesterday. It was actually the day before. And when he said, man, he said, basically, this truth is my livelihood. This is my woman. This is my everything. Why? Because we are infatuated with this truth, man. And immediately when I read this definition on etymonline.com, I thought of this scripture. This is 1 Corinthians 4 and 9. It says, for I think that the Most High set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were, appointed to death, right? Because we are sent. The word apostle means sent away, or sent forth. And basically, we were called by Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and the true apostles, the true people that were actually sent, are going to do it until death, right? It says, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. All right. So I want to real quick, because I got this pulled up. Let me go back. Matter of fact, I got it right here. I'm going to go back a step. Let's go to verse 9 and see what that word spectacle is. All right. The word spectacle, it says we are made spectacle. Theatron, it looks like. Theatron, it says, it looks like theater. Because when someone goes to a theater, they're looking to be entertained. See, it says a theater, a place in which games or dramatic spectacles are exhibited, a public assemblies held. For the Greeks used theater also as a forum, a public show, right? And that's how people look at us, because the prophets of the Lord, starting with Abba Bivens, he came out in the 60s and pushing forth this word on down to the 80s, which was being more prevalent, with High Priest Ariyah, Elder Masha, and then that's around the time when Apostle Tahar was coming in, and they were talking about Russia destroying America, especially during the time of the Cold War where Russia was losing power. So people looked at them, especially at that time, as being foolish, as a theater, as a show. Like, look at these guys, look at these, growing up, I know, because I lived in New York and I lived in New Jersey, and it was well known, the black Jews, the black Jews, the black Jews. Oh, look at those guys. Look at it was just they were the thought of the black Jews, if you will, or yeah, that's what a lot of people will call them. It was a common title. The black Jews, like, all those guys are bugged out. They're crazy. They're crazy. They're crazy. All they do is curse out white people. They're crazy. They're crazy. And that's what the common thought, or the common the general consensus was, on the black Jews, or who we know today as the Hebrew Israelites, which come from the tribes of, the people that the indigenous people of the North Americas, South Americas, all the way to the slaves that came here in America on the boats from West Africa, even the people, the indigenous people of the islands, which make up the 12 tribes of Israel. That's ultimately who we are, the 12 tribes of Israel. But we were made a spectacle, by the people. And the scripture says, unto death, man. So let me go back. I'm gonna actually go to verse 10. Is verse 10, we're going to go into that one. It says, for we are fools for Yahweh's sake. Why? Because we're infatuated with this thing, man. We are into this thing. The main point I like, it says a foolish passion beyond control of reason. And what's that? Galatians. I want to get that real quick. I think it's Galatians 1:6. It says, right. It says, I marvel that ye are soon removed from him that called you into grace of Hamashiach unto another gospel. Right. See, Paul said, I marvel ye, they are soon removed. Right. It says, verse 7, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and will pervert the gospel of Hamashiach. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you, that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. And we said before, so I say now again, if any man preach any other gospel unto you, then ye have received, let him be cursed. So we're not supposed to, the elect, no one is going to alter the elect from getting this knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Because the inspiration, the inspiration is coming from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to make us to seem like fools for this knowledge. All right. Now I'm gonna go back 1 Corinthians 4:10. Let me get that word for fool. All right. It says, but we are fools for Hamashiach's sake, but ye are wise in Hamashiach. We are weak, but ye are strong, and are honorable, but are despised. See, we're despised for what we believe, man. That's the infatuation that Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai put the spirit on us to actually do what we do and say what we say, regardless of whoever comes up, man. No matter who comes up, no matter what philosophy, what doctrine someone comes up with, we're locked in, man. We're fools for this thing, Somebody come up and say something that makes sense, like no, and what immediately happens? Like, oh no, 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 and then that's a part of faith. And when you have faith in what we were taught, the Most High will sup with you and put the Spirit on you to rebuttal anything that anyone else comes up and says. All right. So I'm gonna go to this word fools, right? Now the word fools it looks like it says moros, if I'm saying it correctly. Just gotta wait for this to load, Satan is doing his 1-2 as we expected, There we go. The word fools, it says that we are fools for Yahweh's sake, right? It says foolish, impious, godless. But really, we're pious. That's what makes us foolish. And I did it. Matter of fact, I think my last word that I did on Word of the Day was pious, you know, which basically means strict or very religious. You know, we're religious of what we do. We're bound. We're bound by the Spirit of the Lord to do what we do. Okay. So, okay, that goes off. So now I want to go to some other points here. There were some other verses that hit the point with that word foolish. Okay, so this is 1 Corinthians 1 and 27. Let me get into my scriptures. This is 1 Corinthians 1 and 27. Well, this goes into it as well. Let me see something. 1 and 25. Right. You know, when you read this chapter, it goes into how, you know, the Most High used the foolish. You know, I'll just read it. Okay. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 18. It says, for the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us which are saved, it is the power of the Most High. See, and the power of the Most High is that breath, is the word of the Lord that comes unto us. And it's only a secluded amount of people that can understand why we're infatuated with this truth, why we seem to be fools in this knowledge. Okay. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Right. Because the people that come up against what we say, they're indoctrinated with the wisdom of this world. All right. It says, verse 20, where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Have not the Most High made foolish the wisdom of this world? Right. Because I think that's 1 Corinthians 3 and 9. You know, it says that the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. For after that, in the wisdom of the Most High, by wisdom knew not the Most High, it pleased the Most High by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. Right, man. And that foolishness is it's really a good thing, man. You know how they say another foolish thing. We're brainwashed. You know, people, oh yeah, these guys are brainwashed. You damn right we're brainwashed, man. Our brains have been washed with the water. Our brains have been baptized with the fire, man. Which is this word right here, man. Continuing on, it says, for the Jews require a sign and the Greeks seek after wisdom, right? But we preach Hamashiach crucified unto the Jews a stumbling block and unto the Greeks foolishness, right? Because ultimately, ultimately the Jews, they wanted some miraculous sign to come about, you know, some great miracles so they could actually see the divination of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. As opposed to the Greeks, which were Israelites, they were all into the philosophies and mysterious, poetry and, riddles and things of that nature. You know, what the scripture says that there's simplicity in Yahweh Shai. This is simple. It's not that deep. You know, excuse me, it is deep, but it's hard to explain, man. Brothers understand. It's been given to it. It's a gift. It just rolls off the tongue, man. You know, either you got it or you don't, man. That's why it's the simplicity, man. All right. So continuing on, it says, but unto them which are called both Jews and Greeks, Hamashiach, the power of the Most High and the wisdom of the Most High, because the foolishness of the Most High is wiser than men, and the weakness of the Most High is stronger than men. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. But the Most High have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and the Most High have chosen the weak things of the world to confound things which are mighty. And that's I don't know how you call that, but it's not that those things are not really mighty and those things are not really wise. What people call foolish, those things are really the wise. And what people call the mighty, those things are really the weak. You know? The scripture says, surely the things have been turned upside down. And, let me, oh man. Salakia. Surely your things turning upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. You know, esteemed as the potter's clay, meaning, when a potter uses his clay, you know, and he makes what he makes. He creates that vessel. He creates that vessel. He puts it up in the window. You know, it's on display. You know, so those things that have been turned upside down are on display, man. The dead is considered life, and the life is considered dead. You know, ultimately. All right. So I'm gonna go down to 1 Corinthians 3:18. It says, "Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seem to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise." Right. So those men that are greatly esteemed in this society, those people are going to be, in order for them to get this, they got to become fools, man. In other words, put everything aside to what they thought that they knew and they thought to be true, and basically submit themselves to the knowledge and wisdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai as we have. All right. You know, and that's pretty much it. You know, and there's another thing I want to touch on real quick, just for edification's sake, go into the Hebrew, because there's two words in Hebrew for fool. You know, I got it written down. This is one of them that I got from this is Proverbs 12, I think it's 15. You know, there's two words for fool, and I'm gonna just go into this one. The other one is kasayah. Kasayah means to be simple or slow. All right. And then the other one is awayah, as you see here. Awayah, which awayah means to be foolish, one who despises wisdom. And that's us. That's what you would call us, because we despise the wisdom of this world for the foolishness of the cross, man. For the preaching of the cross, which is deemed to be foolish, man. You know? Hey, but with that, Lord willing, brothers was edified. Lord willing, brothers learned something new. You know? Once again, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, man. All right.